Hello everyone, this is another reflection video for our human resource management class, and this week's topic is another interesting one. It's about missing the obvious in employee recognition, which sounds like a pretty simple task, but this video kind of tells us how it may sound simple, but a lot of people don't do it for some reason. So let's get right into it. The first thing I want to talk about is the questions that you should be asking yourself on what recognition should be doing. Does it work? Does it refocus people? Does it engage people? Does it get people wanting to do their job? Which, for me, at the jobs I've had, it feels like you don't get a lot of genuine feedback or genuine advice or genuine help when you need it. You just get the fake, oh, you'll do fine, you're doing things right. Like, sometimes they do things you're doing wrong if you really mess up, but for the most part you don't really get a lot of honest feedback, which kind of stinks because I'd like to know what I'm doing wrong sometimes, but sometimes I'm just told, hey, you're doing good, just keep working on it to improve. Like, no, tell me how I need to improve. Don't just be too vague, and just when you're trying to engage people, you should be specific. You should set your expectations clearly, and you should not have them leave the room with extra questions. You should be the one that's trying to answer all their questions and make sure people want to be focused on their job, because when people have a motivation, it's proven that they go further than those that are just coming to work every day just because they have to for money or they're not enjoying their job. No amount of money is enough to satisfy if you don't enjoy your job and get out of there. No amount of money is worth sacrificing mental health, sacrificing family, friends, time. It's not worth it. So the next thing, I think this is an important thing as well that it talks about, is round wheels versus square wheels, and my definitions on them is that square wheels are non-moving parts. They're distracting. They don't really set a process, or they don't set a path forward. It's like if a car had square wheels, it's not really going anywhere. It's moving in place. It's stuck. It's just there. It's overall not being helpful, and it's not contributing. So it's like having a fixed mindset, and you're just not really doing much. You're just, as I said, you're just there, and they're distracting as well. Square wheels in a business, like a negative employee, for example, that's a square wheel because it holds people back, and it takes away from the company and the leaders as a whole. And then on the other end, we have round wheels, which round wheels for me would be like my friends at work, my friends on campus. A few professors I've had have been really helpful. They would be round wheels. Square wheels for me, I'll be honest, myself sometimes. And factors I can't really control. There aren't really a whole lot of factors in life that really hold me back except for myself, which is my fault, but it's not the point. Yeah, round wheels, they're a set process that they're moving a company or a leader forward, because leadership and business, they tie together a lot. And it's like a moving part. It's like how a car should work, unlike the square wheel. It gets the ball rolling, it creates progress, and then it just allows for things to happen. Like, round wheels are just those positive people that that actually engage you at work, that aren't trying to give you a hard time, that aren't bullying you. They give feedback, they make you feel welcome, which some people don't do that, which is probably the reason why the video states that over 2/3 of people don't feel engaged at their jobs, which that's 66.6 or rounds up to 67%, which is a really high number, and I think that's a little bit too high because people should be wanting to enjoy their jobs and should be feeling engaged by their coworkers and should want feedback and should want to improve themselves instead of just going to work every day because they have to get a paycheck for their family or for themselves to live in an apartment or house. They shouldn't feel like that work is like an actual job. They should feel like not a hobby, but it should feel like something that should be natural, and it should be something that should be enjoyable, not something that you dread going to every day, because that just creates a really unhealthy mindset and eventually leads to a really unhealthy lifestyle, which is hard to follow. So the biggest things I took from it are to reflect on for me that I'll think about is that you should want to take feedback. Feedback is, at least for me, feedback is like, it's always a gift, whether it's good or bad feedback. There's always something to learn from it. Like if you turn in an essay for a class, for example, and someone gives feedback, good or positive about it, there's something to learn from it. There's somewhere to improve, because especially with a writing example, writing can always be improved. In almost all areas of life, things can be improved, and that's the whole point of feedback. Feedback is to help you learn from your mistakes and to help you improve yourself as a person, which is really, really valuable. Should definitely not be taken for granted. Second big point is to just be honest. Be honest with everyone at work. Be honest with people you know. I don't want to say don't lie, because everyone lies, but try your best to tell the entire truth and say what you really mean to people, so that way people aren't getting mixed thoughts. Or if someone, like, you don't want to, like, if you're an executive or a boss, you don't want to be the reason someone leaves just because your opinion comes out the wrong way, or you don't want to say something in one way and expect them to interpret the other way when you really meant it in some other way. Like, you don't want things to come across in mixed messages, otherwise it creates interesting situations. But yeah, overall, there should definitely be more engagement. Like I said, 2/3 is way too high. People should be wanting to enjoy their jobs, but yeah, overall, interesting video. Thanks for watching.